What it is, though. It's your boy Crook LDB. Team 100. We in it, sure. And today, I was looking at this, right? So I was busting out some reaction videos. I was looking at some videos or whatever the case may be to bring to you guys, right? Um, and I came across this article and I was like, yo, this is a very interesting article. And I kind of want to get my take on it. And I want you guys to give me your opinion on it, right? I want you guys to definitely give me your opinion on it. Now, this is a report from Heat Nation, right? So this is saying that people around the league consider the Miami Heat making it to the NBA Finals a fluke, right? So I'm gonna read into a little bit. So the Miami Heat exceeded expectations this past season by making it to the 2020 NBA Finals. However, the Zach Lowe, ESPN.com, some around the league don't consider the Heat's runs to the finals legitimate because of the nature of the bubble. There are skeptics around the league who consider Miami's run to the finals something of a fluke, the product of the bubble strangeness, Lowe wrote. There is no question Miami's militaristic culture steeled the Heat for the isolation in all basketball, all the time environment of the bubble. That environment took a toll on other teams. The Heat finished the 2019-2020 regular season with a 44-29 record. They were the fifth seed in the Eastern Conference standings. Yet they crushed all of their opponents. They swept the Indiana Pacers. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks in 5 games. They let Boston, pretty much them and Boston went to 6 games. And then they lost to the Lakers in 6 games. And then, not to mention, they didn't have Bam or Goran Dragic for multiple games during the finals. All right, so this is my opinion on it, right? Do I think that this was a fluke? No, I don't. Was this underrated? Yes. People did not see the Miami Heat coming. We did not write the Miami Heat to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Let's be honest. The Eastern Conference Finals, let alone the NBA Finals. Everyone, of course, either had Milwaukee or they had Boston. Some very few people probably had Toronto, but for the most part, it was either Milwaukee or it was Boston who was going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami definitely came out of nowhere. When I say they came out of nowhere, they came out of nowhere. No one suspected that Miami was going to be, again, in the finals. At the most, people looking at it on paper, people considered the Miami Heat to be at least a 6th to 7th seed. You feel what I'm saying? But, you feel what I'm saying? Competing with, Orlando, competing with, at the most, they was going to be competing with Philly for like the 6th seed, the 5th, 6th seed. At the most. But they was going to be from probably 5 or 6 all the way down. Because the thing is, like, Eastern Conference, like, it's still solid. You still got a solid 6 teams. But it's only a legitimate 2 to 3 teams in the Eastern Conference. Legitimate. Everything else from 3 on down is like everyone is pretty much fighting it for position. I wouldn't call it a fluke. Because when you look at some of the games that they were playing, okay, all right. So here's one thing. Here's the one thing I want to say. Okay, I understand that we are in very different times. I understand that, we are in the middle of a pandemic. We have to be socially distanced. Everyone has to be 6 feet. So the majority, probably maybe for the next few years, honestly, there probably won't be full stadiums for probably another few years. I mean, let's just be honest. With this virus was going on, and I think next year for the NBA, they want to get at least a little bit of fans in there. But as far as a full stadium, that probably won't happen for another few years, to be honest. Probably won't happen. We gotta stop, and this is just my opinion. Y'all tell me if y'all agree or not. We gotta stop with this asterisk, bro. We gotta stop with this asterisk. You feel what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I see this bubble as a way tougher challenge as opposed to going to a traditional NBA game. Now, all things considered, let's weigh a little bit of the pros and a little bit of the cons. In the bubble, you have a neutral playing field. A neutral playing field, so which means there's no home team, no away team. It's kind of like that old school 5-on-5. You feel me? When you in the gym with your friends and you picking up people and you running. It's more so like that. It's pretty much organized basketball, but just on a national level. Um, it's not really any distractions. It's no fans, which is a pro and a con. Because without the fans, you feel what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna be nobody yelling at you, getting under your skin. You simply are supposed to focus on your team and the opponent's team. That's it. There's no other distractions. There's no other things that could alternate. You feel me? Anything like you know what I'm saying? It's strictly straight pickup basketball. And many people may consider pickup basketball to be, cheesy, or you feel me, not the NBA. But at the end of the day, you got to think about how all of these players are used to playing around fans, used to playing around spectators, the media crew, all of that for a certain amount of time, and then now it's being enclosed. Now you're in a bubble where it's barely anybody that can be, but very selective few of the media, very selective few of the organization, as far as like, the president and all of that. And then you have, you feel me, just a little bit of the family members. You feel what I'm saying? So I would think that it would be even more difficult to succeed in the bubble as opposed to a normal season, man. Like, I get it, I understand both sides, but at the end of the day, we can't help a pandemic, bro. We can't help that there is a virus that is literally killing thousands and thousands of people, and that we have to do a workaround just for us to get the sports. We can't control it. You get what I'm saying? So like all these people like Scottie Pippen saying like, you feel me, it's pick up basketball. Yo, you can't help that, bro. You can't help that. Do you think anybody wants for them to be playing in the bubble? No. But would I like to be at an NBA game right now? Yes. I feel like we need sports, and us taking the time out to go to a game to forget about this virus. Yo, we would love that, but unfortunately, we can't get that. So all of this actually about the bubble and stuff like that, like I'm not trying to hit it. Now, the only thing that I will give, as far as maybe I can understand the fluke part, is the fact that a lot of these teams gave these players the option to either not play or play, but recognize if you don't play, you don't get your check. Simple. So I know I know like the Lakers, they like A.D. Bradley didn't play. It was a couple people from the Lakers that didn't play. It was a couple people that didn't play. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of people opted out, even the people that wasn't announced. A lot of players opted out. You feel what I'm saying? So I mean, I get it, but at the end of the day, it's no excuse. If you saying that you're gonna play, then you're going to play. All the expectations of how you were going to perform before the bubble is the same expectations at the bubble. If you were in the playoffs and you were in that bubble, regardless of whatever expectations that we had about this being in a bubble, you still were expected to possibly contend for a championship and possibly win it. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to look at, and then also let's look at the pros. No, I'm sorry, not the pros, the cons. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you gotta think about the 12th man, which is the fans. Some people thrive off the energy of the fans. Don't get me wrong. Some people boost, like some people get you feel me, a boost out of that. Having certain people there, like say for instance, like before an NBA game, you could have everyone you want, like friends and shit. Like you could have them, and sometimes that could motivate you. Things like that. Not being in one location for a certain period of time, you get to travel, some stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying? You can't travel. It's pros and its cons to this bubble, but I would not consider it a fluke. If you look at Miami's system, bro, a lot of people didn't know what to get out of Miami's system. Here you have Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is one of the top two-way players in the league. He don't really shoot like that. He don't really shoot threes like that. I mean, he got a little bit of a mid-range game, but he not too much. He's mainly a slasher. He mainly slashes to the bucket. He can hit some mid-range shots, but he's mainly a slasher. And then people didn't know about Kendrick Nunn. People didn't know about Tyler Hero. People didn't know about Duncan Robinson. People didn't know about Bam Adebayo. You feel what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people didn't know about these players. So you can't say it was a fluke because a lot of these players, they just ended up blossoming. You get what I'm saying? Now, if we check next year and we see where their record is or how they play next year, Now, if they have a losing record, then maybe you can say it's a fluke. But as of like right now, you can't say it's a fluke, bro. Their system worked. They did not know Tyler Hero was going to be a bucket. They didn't know that Duncan Robinson was going to be a sharpshooter. Like Duncan Robinson is up there with like this past season, only this past season. Duncan Robinson was up there with Fred VanVleet, bro. As far as shooting wise, he was up there, bro. Like Duncan Robinson was carrying some of them games. And then even when you look at how they're ran, it's kind of like the Golden State game plan, where whoever has the hot hand, you feed that hot hand, regardless on who does it. So Tyler Hero go off for 30, give the ball to Tyler Hero. Duncan Robinson goes off for 25, give Duncan Robinson that to give him 30. Bam Adebayo can give you 25 and 11, keep giving the ball to Bam Adebayo. You never know who's going to have the hot hand at the end of the night. You never know. If Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, shit, give them the ball. Jimmy Butler is unselfish, bro. Miami can win games and Jimmy Butler can score less than about 15 points. They can win with Jimmy Butler scoring 15 points because most of the load is not on Jimmy Butler. It's a collective effort. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing as how Denver was, I would say maybe a few years ago. It was a collective effort. You had Jamal, you had Jokic, you had who else did you have? You feel what I'm saying? Will Barton carried him to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's a collective effort. With Golden State, Steph get hot, Steph get the ball. Clay get hot, Clay get the ball. KD get hot, KD get the ball. Simple as that. So you can't say it's a fluke. I don't think you can say it's a fluke, bro. I think you need to give it a little bit more time before you say that it's a fluke. But I really want to know what you guys think. Do y'all think that Miami Heat going to the Eastern Conference Finals, winning it, and then going to the finals was a fluke? And then look at the teams they beat. Indiana, okay, I'll give you Indiana. Indiana's still trying to find their identity because they don't know what they're going to do with Oladipo. I'm pretty sure they're trying to figure out if Oladipo is even the right player for them to carry that franchise, which I don't think, which is why I think they should have got Gordon Hayward, because that means it could be, again, a collective effort. You have Malcolm Brogdon, you have Victor Oladipo, you have Miles Turner, you could have had Gordon Hayward. There could have been a lot of people who could have shared the ball, and it could have been a win-by-committee thing. If the Pacers would have got Gordon Hayward, guaranteed probably a 4th seed. Guaranteed. Because they have the players to do it. They just don't have an identity right now. So, Indiana, okay, you got that. They beat the hell out of the Bucks. They beat them. Now, granted, again, Giannis was hurt. Giannis was hurt for some of them games. Don't get me wrong. I think he was hurt for like those last 2 games. He hurt his ankle or whatever the case may be. So the last game, I give you that. Bro, they was up, 3-0 on Milwaukee? They was up 3-0. Like, what the hell? 3-0 to Milwaukee? And Giannis is matching up with a player who can't even shoot threes, bro. People don't understand. Jimmy Butler doesn't shoot like that. He's a slasher. So the fact that you couldn't beat a team who doesn't have a bona fide superstar and you letting rookies destroy you after you just had the best record in the East? You're supposed to be a championship contending team. Some people have y'all winning the finals. How do you lose to Miami? How? And then they destroyed you at that. How? Because I guarantee you, if Milwaukee would have won against Boston, Milwaukee more than likely probably would have beat Boston in 6 games. Well, maybe 5. I'll say 6 to be fair, but Milwaukee probably would have had the possibility of beating Boston in 5, bro. Boston is small. They little. Boston is little as I don't know what. Giannis can bully every single person in that starting lineup. Every single person. So I wouldn't really consider it to be, you feel what I'm saying, a fluke, bro. I think that they found a system, they had this system. The system actually worked better than expected, and they just rolled the system, bro. And then the players developed in that system, and then you have to think that Heat is a no-nonsense organization. You play your role, you do your job, go home, look forward to the next game. It ain't like you rarely hear any type of drama or anything coming from the Miami Heat franchise. Only really drama that it really was the whole LeBron. It was mainly when LeBron was there. Like it wasn't really no drama when you feel me, D Wade was there. When LeBron came in, of course, LeBron is one of the you feel me. He's one of the faces of the NBA. I mean, wherever LeBron goes, is going to be drama. Like that's just what it is. Like you feel what I'm saying? A person of that magnitude who's well known throughout the entire universe. Come on, of course. But Miami rarely has any issues with anybody. I mean, Dion Waiters had his little issues last year, but they shipped him off. And they said we don't want to deal with that no more. Boom. So, I don't want to keep rambling and shit, but yeah, I don't think that's a fluke. Um, they beat the living dog poop out of Milwaukee, and then they took the Lakers to 6 games, bro. Honestly, a lot of people had that LA Lakers sweeping Miami. I know a couple people that had that had LA sweeping Miami. I said it was going to go down to 6. I said Lakers in 6. It definitely was 6. I didn't expect for Miami to like play catch up and like be down because they definitely played catch up because they was down 3-1. So I didn't expect for them to play catch up. I thought it was going to be a, you feel what I'm saying? I thought Miami was going to steal game 1. LA was going to win game 2. Miami was going to steal game 3. I thought every team was going to win. I was going to win pretty much go back and forth. The series was going to be tied 2-2 and then the Lakers were going to win the last 2. That's how I thought it was going to be. So, but they actually was down 3-1. So, no, I would definitely wouldn't consider it a fluke. But let me know what you guys think. Do y'all think that the Miami Heat title run last year was a fluke? Do you think that they're even going to make it next year? Hell, give me the record that y'all think that Miami is going to have next year. Last year their record was 44-29. I expect the same. Honestly, I expect them to crack 50 wins, bro. I definitely think that they should be able to crack 50 wins. If they can keep everybody together, and they just added Avery Bradley and I believe it was Mo Harkless or somebody like that, bro, they definitely should hit at least 50 wins because they realize they got something now. Now it's going to be harder because they're not the underdog anymore. They're not quiet anymore. So they're going to definitely be keyed around that system. But if it's not a fluke, they should win 50 games. If they win 50 games, it's not a fluke. If they stay around the same, I kind of wouldn't consider it a fluke, but I would say maybe they're overrated. But yeah, only time will tell. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other videos you guys want to watch. I love you guys. I am out.